I see it's so transcribed on the side.
Yeah, and you're gonna see it's gonna be not that good.
May I have your age, please?
Yes, I'm 31 years old.
Okay. Do you currently work at the moment?
Yeah, I work a full-time job at Fontes, so 40 hours a week.
Okay. And are you currently on any medication?
No, just how do you say it? Anticonceptie, birth control only, but not no other medication.
And I see you paid us a visit. How can we be of help to you today?
Yeah, I started smoking cigarettes when I was 16 years old. That was like legal in the Netherlands then. Now not anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and 3 years ago, I stopped smoking. 3 or 4 years ago, I can't really remember. I stopped smoking cigarettes and I started vaping. And the goal was to just stop with everything, but I kind of find myself stuck in the vaping. And I kind of, yeah, I don't want to stop vaping, but I want to like, ik wil het verminderen. Dus ik vape nou heel veel. I'm just gonna go to Dutch to explain a little bit better.
Yeah.
Ik vape nu best veel. Als ik wakker word, dan ga ik al meteen vapen. En dat eigenlijk de hele dag door tot in de avond. En nu heb ik wel een heel laag nicotinegehalte. Dus ik zit echt op bijna geen nicotine. Maar toch, ik denk dat het een soort van handeling is van, weet je wel, het roken. Het is gewoon, het zit in mijn systeem, die handeling. En eigenlijk wil ik dus heel graag dat ik niet meer zoveel vape. Dus uiteindelijk wil ik wel stoppen, maar nu zou het fijn zijn als ik in de ochtend en in de avond bijvoorbeeld niet meer vape.
Okay, precies. Okay, ik weet het. Okay. So you stated that you started smoking at 16,
Mhm.
and then you smoke cigarettes, but then you turn to e-cigarettes, and then you mostly smoke e-cigarettes mostly in the morning. Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of the during the day very often. So I start in the morning and I just kind of smoke or vape the whole day through. Not when I'm at work, obviously, but when I'm working from home or in the weekends, it's kind of a lot till I go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, why do you smoke per se? Because you mentioned that it's probably because of the hand movement or you being busy
Gewoonte.
with your hand, you're occupied, you're keeping your mind
Yeah.
occupied by doing something. But what would you say is the reason behind you smoking?
Yeah, that's kind of difficult because I think it's kind of becoming a habit has become a habit right now. So it's kind of like part of my life.
Understand.
Um, yeah, and sometimes life is stressful. You have stress at work or
Yeah.
kind of stress in life, but I can't really say that I'm like really overstressed that I need a cigarette or a vape. So I think it's more of a habit right now that's kind of part of my life, and it's really difficult to let that go.
Okay. Okay. And you stated just now that a lot of the times when you're stressed, you would take a vape, you would take a smoke. Um, so am I getting that right that you would mostly, in that situation, even though it's a habit, mostly you would mostly want to take a smoke in stressful situations?
Yes, you can say that because it's kind of a comfort feeling, that if it's
Comfort,
stressful, you
yeah.
can, yeah, you kind of have like an exit. But I also do it if I walk the dog, and that's kind of, yeah, I'm not stressed at that moment. So then it's really the habit part. But indeed, when there are stressful situations, yeah, it's kind of an exit feeling like, oh yeah, this is something I do have in control. Um, so yeah, that.
Okay, okay. So you do it for comfort, you also do it because of habits, lifestyle, and stress. So three reasons already. and because you would like to stay in control, etc. So that's four. Now, are you aware of the side effects of smoking?
Yeah, I'm actually very aware, so that's
Uh,
kind of
you're well
not good.
aware.
It's kind of stupid. But yeah, the cigarette part, I think everybody knows that how bad it is. And now with the vaping, there are a lot of researchers that indicate that vaping is, just as bad as smoking cigarettes. So I'm aware of the negative consequences, but I think, yeah, I'm 31. That's not an excuse, but just from my mind, I'm still young in my mind. So and already had an improvement from smoking cigarettes to vaping because cigarettes have like how do you say it, a tear, there's tar in the cigarettes that make you go like you have a lot of slime and stuff, and I noticed that my sort of condition improved when I started vaping, but still it's very, yeah, you're smoking like chemicals, so I'm aware of the negative consequences.
Okay, okay. So you're well aware of the negative consequences. You've already done your own research on that, and you're well aware of the dangers of the tobacco and the cigarettes. So you felt that the side effects were you were getting flare-ups, a lot of flare, a lot of slime. You were
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And in the
Um,
e-cigarettes, have you felt any negative side effects from that as well, from doing it? And for
no,
how
and that's
long
kind
have you been smoking?
yeah, I think vaping, like I said before, I think 3 or 4 years. I can't really say for sure. But that's kind of the danger of vaping because I really don't notice any obvious negative side effects. So I don't have
Yeah.
a lot of slime. Um, yeah, my condition is not that good, but that really hasn't been good because I'm not like in the gym working out. I bike a lot and I walk a lot with the dog, but if I have to run, I'm like out of breath within 5 minutes.
Oh,
But
okay, okay,
other
okay.
than that, I'm not noticing any obvious negative side effects from the vaping. But I know it's not good because it's inside the body. That's not
Yeah, yeah.
that's not healthy.
Okay. So you haven't noticed any side effects as yet. Um, you're well aware of the research that has been done already,
Yeah,
and you're well aware of that your condition itself isn't, you would say, very bad, but it's still there. The only thing is when you have to rush or when you have to run or do something, that's when you feel that it can be better. Your condition can be better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I
Okay,
walk the
then.
dog, I
Mhm.
can walk for 2 3 hours, no problem. But
Yeah,
if I have to do like intensive, like running or something, then yeah, I
yeah.
that's not good. I'm not good at that.
Oh, okay. So only for running, that's where the problem comes in. But for walking, you do have, you're able to take long walks. 2
Yeah,
hours is quite a long while.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's
but
fine.
you're
I can
able
do
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. But you stated that you came here to help you stop smoking. What made you decide to stop smoking?
Yeah, because of the what I said in my answer in the question here before, like I read the research on how bad it is, so I know it's bad. And now I'm at a point in my life, I'm like, yeah, I really want to, first ik wil het eerst verminderen en dan helemaal stoppen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ja,
So
dus
lessen it a
daarom.
little bit and then long term with the goal of stopping. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, I just know it's bad. So I'm like, yeah, how earlier you stop in life, how better the life expectancy is in the future.
exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, perfect. So just to have it right is that you know the effects of smoking, the side effects, the negative side effects of smoking from your research, and knowing that you want to start changing your lifestyle by now with the sub goal of lowering or the
hmm,
or mitigating the amount of times you would smoke, with the
yeah,
ultimate goal of stopping entirely in the future.
yeah, Yeah.
Were you ever successful at uh stopping before? Like, have you ever tried to do it before?
Um,
Or have you ever
yeah,
tried to mitigate or lower the amount of times or amount of times you smoke?
I did with the cigarettes because then I felt, the cigarettes are a real impact on your body. So I had moments where I would inderdaad lower the amount of cigarettes I smoked, or stop altogether, because you can feel it. If you smoke a lot of cigarettes, you don't feel good. But with the vaping, that's not there. You can vape
Mm,
it like all day long and have no feeling or something, because I have a
no,
low
yeah.
nicotine, a very low nicotine in the liquid I use. But I notice when I'm sick, that's not really like bewust stoppen. But when I'm sick, I can easily not vape for a whole week. When I'm really sick, in bed. En then I'm not even, ja, dan heb ik niet eens de behoefte om te vapen. Dan heb ik echt zoiets van, I'm sick, I really don't, I just want to drink and eat a
Don't
little
want
bit and
anything.
that's it. Ja, ja. So dat is niet
Okay.
bewust stoppen, but yeah. And then after a while, I thought, yeah, maybe if I haven't vaped a week, I can really, volhouden. When I'm better, I can just keep that in my life. But I never succeeded at that. Maybe mostly after 1 or 2 days, I still, when I'm feeling better, after that week, I still go back to the vape.
Okay, okay. And would you say that you was quite successful at stopping to stop vaping for a whole week or whenever you were sick, unconsciously, so unbewust. Maar the important thing is that it was effortless. It
Yeah,
wasn't something that, oh my God, I need to do it. It was like the hand hoofed on the vaping. You
yeah,
didn't really need it. There wasn't like a strong hunger for it,
yeah,
you
yeah,
would say.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and would you like what would you think why that is the case, especially during when you're sick? Why?
I think because I'm not feeling good. So ik voel me niet lekker. Ik voel me ziek. En ik wil alleen maar in bed liggen en slapen of tv kijken. En ik denk dat gewoon de focus dan heel erg is op rusten en beter worden. En ik denk dat dat een verschil is met het alledaagse leven. Waarin je veel moet doen. Afspraken, groceries, walking the dog. There's kind of all
Yeah,
these things you have to do. And when you're sick, you don't have to do anything. Just focus on yourself and just let your body
rest and recovery.
restore. Yeah, and I think because I don't feel good, I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling the need to vape. But that's kind of an interesting
Ah,
question, because yeah, if you only have to lay in bed all day, I don't have the craving for the vape. But when I'm just doing my everyday life, it kind of sneaks in.
interesting. Interesting. Okay, okay. So, but so far, you would say that only when it's time to, um, when you're sick, you unconsciously stop vaping, just
Yeah,
entirely.
yeah.
Um, do you wait to feel that okay, I'm okay now, I'm feeling really really good? That's when you would try to. That's when the hunger would come in, the motivation, um, the
Niet,
urge to do it would come in. Or would you
niet
wait a week
bewust.
after and then do it?
I'm not so consciously in my mind with that. So for the week, I just forget the vape. But when I start feeling better and working again, it's not like
Mhm.
I'm really consciously thinking like, oh yes, I can vape again. It just comes, yeah, gewoon automatisch pak ik hem dan weer op, zeg maar.
Ah, okay, okay, I understand. So just automatically, as soon as you stop vaping, it's just like a reflex at this point.
Yeah,
It's a habit.
yeah.
Just after you're better, you feel better, you just do. You don't really think about it.
No,
Okay.
no, that's
Now,
true. Yeah,
what I think what you have said is you've tried to lower the amount of time you've been smoking. Is that right? That you've tried to Well, it's not, you've lowered the amount of the or the total amount of smokes you would have in a day. You would try to lower it throughout the week and the month, etc. Is that right?
Yeah, I've tried it, but it's difficult because, as I said, it's kind of in everyday life, I get kind of lost in what I have to do in a day, and then I'm not so consciously busy with, okay, I don't need to vape right now. You kind of understand what I mean? It's because it kind of
Yeah, yeah.
comes naturally. So if I have to, I want to, lower the amount of times I vape, but I really have to do it consciously, and that's yeah difficult if you're like
I
busy
was
like me.
working and
Yeah,
yeah, I was busy in the stressful environment. You don't have the time to really process that part of your
yeah,
life when it's going on. Okay,
yeah,
okay, I see. So but it seems that you did have the motivation and you were on the right track and you were doing your best. You were doing your
yeah,
best, which is you're on the right track. You had a part of you that really wanted to stop smoking. And that's because you saw in the future that it might have side effects, especially with the e-cigarettes.
yeah, yeah,
That you was like, okay, later on this might affect me and might diminish my quality of life.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you would be able to stop smoking?
So stopping, not lowering, but stopping altogether in the future.
I would say stopping for now.
Stopping. I think a 6.
6. Okay, that's a pretty high number. Why not a 5 or a 4?
Because I'm really aware of the dangers, So I when hoe ouder ik word, hoe meer ik besef van dit kan zo niet langer doorgaan. Dus ik ben niet meer 20, hè? Ik ben niet meer 16, ik ben nu 31. En dan merk je toch dat je op een bepaald punt in je leven komt dat je denkt, ja, ik wil toch op een gegeven moment gewoon helemaal stoppen, want ik wil niet dat mijn leven bijvoorbeeld over 10 jaar al eindigt. Weet je wel? Dus
Yeah,
daarom is het een
yeah.
6. Ja,
Okay. So you're aware of in this case, you're aware of the side effects they'll have on you in your life, and you're it's so gripping to you that you don't want to do it to the point where you only have like 10 years to live of your life,
ja,
to the
dat is
point that you
exactly
can
the
reach
thing.
that point.
Ja,
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is that you're not sure that you can do it, and 10 is that you're very confident that you can. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sure are you that you can lower the amount of smokes or total smokes you can have in a day? How confident?
um, yeah, that's a good question. I'm kind of
I
thinking
see
about
you're
it.
very
How confident am I? Yeah, I think, let me put it this way, if I'm like consciously aware of it and busy with it, then it's a 7.
It's a 7. Wow, nice. Okay, very
But
great
that is
number.
if
Okay.
I'm consciously, yeah, ermee aan de
Thinking
slag ben aan
about
het
it.
gaan. Yeah, yeah, then
Yeah,
it's a
on the slot.
7. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the other way around, in reverse, tegenovergestelde.
Ja, dus als ik er niet mee bezig ben, dan, ja, dan is het denk ik wel een 5. Dan zit dat zo net ertussenin.
Maar waarom niet een 7? Waarom?
Because when I'm like doing everyday life, I kind of sometimes get lost. I lose track of time. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, it's already evening, and I'm not really consciously registering how much I vaped the whole day. So that's a problem
Mm,
because I don't know. Is it 10 times? Is it 20 times? Could be 100 times. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
lowering it is kind of difficult if you don't grasp how many times you do it. But when I'm like consciously, als ik daar echt bewust mee bezig ben, dan kan ik wel echt
mhm,
bijhouden van oké, ik kan bijvoorbeeld nu in de ochtend ga ik even niet vapen. So then it's a 7 because I'm like really thinking about it. Like okay, now in the morning you don't vape until 12 o'clock, you know, something like that.
yeah.
So that's the difference. Yeah.
And so I see where you're coming from, especially in the case where unbewusst, like
Hmm.
you're really working, you're focused, you don't have no time to really deal with miscellaneous and small things, right?
Yeah.
Because you're on the big task. You're just going, making sure the work is done.
Yeah.
And in this case, why would you not say a three then? Why would you
Because
put yourself a
sometimes,
five
yeah, because
instead of a
sometimes
three?
it just pops up in my mind during the day. So sometimes
Ah,
I think like, oh yeah, am I not vaping too much? Or in the evening, you know, when I come back from work and I'm walking with my dog and I'm vaping, I'm like, why do I do this? You know, so it's even in
mm,
a busy day, it pops up in my mind, like, but it's really kind of ja, vaag nog een beetje. Maar ja, dus daarom is
mm.
het wel een 5. Want daarom balanceer ik een beetje ertussenin. Daar ben ik er niet bewust mee bezig. Maar toch af en toe krijg ik zo'n soort reminder van... Oh ja, hier moet je iets mee, weet je wel.
Ah, okay. So sometimes throughout the day, you would get these thoughts, you get these you'll be a little bit more aware of what's taking place in your environment. And
Ja,
that's when you'd
ja,
be like, okay, I need to calm down. This is really not good for me. You would then consciously put it away, but then after a while, you probably get back into the groove whenever you're back into the world, you're back into the focus.
ja,
But you do have a lot of times, you say it happened quite frequently. He'll find that you have like these moments where you pop in, you're checking in on yourself.
ja.
Um, when you're able to stop and like realize, oh, okay, I need to calm down. Let me put it away for now. Okay.
Ja,
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. I see where you're coming from. I see it's pretty good. You're definitely on the right track. If you have these moments going on, you have the motivation, you have the push, and to even control yourself to the point where it doesn't necessarily have to become a habit, which is this is phenomenal. This is great. Now, just to be sure, just to have a small overview, so to make sure I've got everything for you, is
mhm,
you start smoking at 16, right?
ja,
At first you started smoking cigarettes, and then you realized that the consequence of cigarettes was pretty high, and then that's when you start to move to e-cigarettes, and then that was and one of the reasons why you stopped smoking cigarettes was not only because of the research that you've done and the negative side effects that you've seen that can happen to you, but also that you was also getting these symptoms, these flare-ups, right?
ja,
Then that
ja,
affected you, correct? Now you moved on to e-cigarettes and you saw that you were feeling a little bit different. You wasn't feeling as much as flare-ups from before, and you just be busy a lot. So trying to control the amount of times you would smoke e-cigarettes is off and on. Sometimes you would realize it, sometimes you wouldn't.
ja,
And a lot of times you have a high motivation to stop smoking e-cigarettes because of the recent research you've seen of the side effects.
ja,
And
true.
even though you know smoking cigarettes is not good for you and you've received a lot of negative side effects, in your perspective, you would say e-cigarettes are a little bit better because you don't receive as much symptoms. You don't receive
Ja,
symptoms about it.
ja,
Now, when you're sick, you don't smoke e-cigarettes at all.
no, no.
Wow. So you're like
I have
it
to be sick
completely
all the
just
time.
shuts it out. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nah, the goal is for us to be tip-top condition,
Yeah,
with the goal of stopping to smoke, and it's all in your power, right?
yeah,
And just to be sure, you stated that when you get really busy and you're focused and you're doing all this work and you're quite focused throughout the day, it's quite difficult. It's quite challenging for you to zone in on yourself and
yeah,
realize I'm smoking right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But you
that's
do
true.
have these moments where you're able to clock in, you're able to check in on yourself and say, okay, it's time to put it away. It's probably been happening behind my back. Probably have been doing it so much, you put it
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
How do you feel? Just a little question. How do you feel per se, um, about these moments where you check in about yourself? How do you feel?
And what do you mean about myself or about the vaping or?
I would say that in those moments, do you feel um, really calm, or do you feel um, really mellow or stressed? For you to be able to zone in on yourself, what do you feel in that moment for you to zone in on yourself per se? If you could bring
Yeah,
it back.
that's a good question. I think it's not really that consciously. Yeah, it's the way I describe it is it just kind of pops up in my mind, and it's not that I feel if I then feel less stressed or more stressed or the same stress. It just pops up in my mind. I don't know why.
Mm,
So it's not really linked to a certain or different
feeling.
feeling. So the feeling stays
Mm,
the same, but it kind of just like pops up in my head, like, oh yeah, are you not vaping too much right now? And then I'm like, okay, yeah. And sometimes when I'm really stressed, I'm like, okay, uh, I don't want to swear,
me
but
too.
fuck it, I'm just gonna
That's good.
continue.
It's good.
I'm just gonna continue. But sometimes when I think, oh no, I'm not really that stressed, then I put it away. So yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So you're not really aware of your feeling, but do they have a certain activity that these moments really pop up where you're like, whoa, I need to stop. Let me put this away. Is it mostly when you're walking your dog? Is it when you're thinking about the future?
Yeah,
Um,
it's mostly
what
when
what
I'm
is these moments?
mostly when I'm walking my dog, indeed, but also when I'm just sitting. I like to read a lot, so I have a chair that I read in, and then the vaping goes like automatically. Yeah, it's just I'm not really thinking about it, and then sometimes I think, why am I vaping all the time? And then I put it away. So it's mostly in instances where I'm more relaxed than when I'm at work. So walking the dog, reading a book, just walking or bicycling somewhere, then it pops up in my mind. Yes.
Hmm. And what about when you're watching TV at home, um, or when you're like trying to work around the house? Do these moments pop up as well? These
When I'm
questions
watching
where you check in
TV,
on yourself.
yeah, when I'm watching TV, not so much. And when I'm doing stuff around the house, I don't have my hands are not free, so I'm busy. So I can't really have the
Ah,
opportunity if I'm doing the laundry or doing the groceries. I'm just busy with my hands. Yeah,
also you're unable to do it
yeah,
in those moments.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, so I'm just guiding you to see if you can bring back those times where you felt
Hmm.
like, oh, I need to put it away. I
Yeah,
need to
yeah. I
probably
understand.
do something
Yeah.
else with my time. Okay. Um, so you said just to be sure that mostly when you're walking your dog, when you're reading a book sometimes, when you're in relaxed states instead of a stressful environment, you
Yeah.
feel, okay, let me start putting it away. Or even when I think it mostly happens to you when you're doing some house chores, when you're folding the clothes and your hands are occupied, it's time to put it away. You're
Yeah.
really, really I would say I wouldn't per se say conscious, but it's not in your hand for sure.
Yeah.
It's away. Okay. Now knowing all of this and seeing how we've gone through the journey of your smoking journey per se, where do you think we should go from here?
And you mean by lowering it, or what do you mean exactly?
In the case of your goal, what would you say you would like to achieve from this consultation?
Um, I think it will be ideal if we can make it happen that I don't vape in the morning and not in the evening till I go to bed. That would be my ideal situation. So I want to stop eventually in the future, but I
Yeah,
think it's for now a little bit too early because we just moved house. That's still very stressful if you're moving from one city to another city. But I
yeah,
think I feel comfortable enough to say, okay, I can make it work if I can stop vaping in the morning and in the evening, and only like in the afternoon or something. Then if I do it a lot less times, I'm confident that I can eventually stop altogether because the habit part is gone. If you could do it all day, it's really in your life. But if I um, uh, don't do it in the morning and in the evening, it's like
yeah.
a limited time I do it, so the habit thing hopefully goes away.
Okay, I see. I see. So you would like to achieve to the point where you can see yourself stop smoke vaping in the morning and in the evening and even sometimes the afternoon.
Yeah,
You would really like that. Okay.
yeah,
And you specifically you would like to lower the amount per se that you smoke. And you
yeah,
believe if this can happen, ultimately you reach the ultimate goal of stop smoking.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. And that was great. That was really good. Um, and we're going to be moving on to asking you just very simple questions, very quick questions
Mm-hmm.
about um, anyone helping you in the moment, about helping you to stop smoke. Do you have anyone in your life that's helping you in the moment to help you with that?
Not really, because my husband also vapes, but he vapes a lot less than I do.
Mhm.
But he really doesn't want to stop anytime soon. But I
Oh,
have,
wow. That's a bit,
yeah,
yeah.
that's difficult. But I have friends who don't smoke at all, so I'm the only one smoking in my friend group, my girlfriend group. So
Hmm.
I think that would be the people that could really support me, because then I'm not, kind of persuaded to keep doing it.
Ah, okay. Okay. So you would say that your husband doesn't plan to stop smoking anytime soon. So you're a little bit influenced by that to it prevents you to say to be less you're kind of discouraged by that to stop smoking, right? Because it's in your environment, you're being influenced by it. Instead of in
Yeah.
the other case of you being with your friends, they don't smoke, so you don't really smoke around them. You're not pushed or influenced, or it's not in your periphery to make it pop up in your head to do it.
Yeah, I smoke when I'm around them, but I think it's easier to lower my amount of smokes when I'm with them. Or as you
Okay,
said,
it's
kind of
lower.
a partner to encourage you stop smoking or lowering it. Then I think my
Yeah.
friends could be a more kind of a support system. My husband too, but he's like still he's still vaping, so he can support me, but it's kind of double standard if he
Yeah,
does.
that's a little bit hard. Yeah, that's a little bit tough on that one right there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So,
see where
but
you're
when my
coming from.
friends,
I see where you're
but
coming from.
yeah, but with my friends,
It's
I
a bit
still smoke
difficult.
around them. But if I want to start working with you now to lower it, I think I
Yeah.
can get a lot more motivational support from my friends. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. And do you feel so you say that your condition itself when it comes to running is affected um by this. You can say that you have a hard time breathing in high intense running or walking, etc. Is there any other symptoms that you feel that this vaping can affect?
Um, no, I think that's
Your
it. If I
breathing
have to,
maybe, or your sleeping?
no, no,
No.
I've no difficulty sleeping or breathing. It's really that high intensity activity like running. Then
Mhm.
I'm quicker out of breath. But I really don't know if it's because of the vaping or because I'm really not that active.
So,
If you're doing a sport, you have to build that up too.
yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of the question if that's really an effect from that or it's just because I don't do like a high intensity sports. So you're not really used to running a lot. So that's about it. Yeah.
But you do say you bike a lot.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel any, you can say limitations in your breathing during those biking moments?
No, not really, actually.
Interesting.
No. Yeah, yeah. I really bike a lot, so it's kind of from child on. It's really in my system to bike a lot, and
Yeah,
so now, yeah, no, no. I
you
do
don't
not
feel it
do.
at all.
No, but it's just from my house to the station. It's not really like a Tour de France through the mountains. I don't know if I would can do that, but
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
just
Yeah, I see
the
where you're coming
Netherlands.
from. Yeah,
Yeah, the Netherlands is pretty flat. You just bike straight ahead and
the
that's it.
hills.
So
Yeah.
I don't. But in that, no, I don't experience any limitations in breathing, or it's really difficult. But I think,
Okay.
but I have like a normal bicycle. But I think if you have like a wielrenner bicycle, so also the
Mhm.
high intensity activity, then I would be quicker out of breath. Just the same with the running, in tegenstelling tot walking.
Okay. So you would, so just to have it clear is that you you stated that when you're running, you have a hard time breathing, but when you're biking and you mostly bike from work to home and vice versa, you don't have a hard time at all,
No,
right?
no, that's
It's
right.
pretty flat, 100% right. But I'm not too sure, some days you can be like, oh my God, I'm gonna be late, and you need to be quick to make sure you're there on time for work.
Yeah.
Um, but you have no problem, or you've never experienced it to that degree on which you
No,
were running. Okay.
no, no.
Um, on the weekends, or do you spend time with your friends? Um, do you, do you guys do anything where you're biking and you feel any symptoms, or you feel that you're breathing, or you're or whenever you get sick, like it's really a lot. It's like a lot of slime. It's like you can't take this anymore. Like your symptoms are very flared up than from before. Like, do you see any changes ever since you began vaping?
Yeah, like I said, with smoking the cigarettes, I really had a hard time walking. Hard time. It was difficult to walk up the stairs or walk a long distance because the cigarettes have like the teer in them, so it kind of clogs up everything. And with the vaping, that's not the case. So I noticed changes, yeah, that I don't have like that really slimy cough or like that you feel like I can't, my body feels a bit weak because of all the smoking and the nicotine. So that's
Yeah,
an improvement. Um, but yeah, it's still not good. But it's an improvement from the cigarettes in my case, because
yeah,
I
yeah.
notice a change in how I breathe and everything.
Okay, okay. So you breathe better now than from before when you used to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it would be a lot. Of, het wordt nog beter als ik ook stop met vapen, want het heeft natuurlijk ook invloed op mijn longen. Dus de
Yeah,
sigaretten zijn erg, het vapen is ook erg, maar wel beter voor het ademhalen en zo. Maar in de toekomst, als ik gestopt ben, dan denk ik dat het nog beter gaat zijn.
okay. Okay, you know that e-cigarettes, you would say is necessarily good for you, but in this
Ja,
case, you feel less symptoms than with smoking e-cigarettes than by cigarettes.
ja,
But
ja,
you hope in the future you'll be okay for sure.
ja, 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 ja.
Okay. So you stated that your husband isn't really, you can say, not providing the support that you would like to mitigate the smoking. Um, and your friends, they indirectly support you by not smoking in that case. Would you say that?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. But do they ever try to help you with it? Um, like make you more aware of it by listing it out, or uh, trying other means to make you more occupied with your hands to stop smoking? Uh, do you probably have probably at the workplace? Do you have anyone at the workplace who helps you out with the smoking? Uh, do you have any
No,
of
not
those entities?
really. No, not really. I have colleagues telling me that vaping is not good, that it's bad. But then I say, yeah,
Just
I
to
know.
inform you.
Yeah. But then I say, yeah, I know.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of, so
Okay.
that's the only thing. So not actively, but sometimes, I get comments like, it's not good for you, etc. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And, that's it.
When they make those comments, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, not really specifically a feeling. It's not
So
like
you
I'm
don't get
shocked.
no feeling.
No, because
Um,
I understand what they're saying because I know it, also because I did my own research. So it's not really a surprise or that I'm shocked or I'm just like, yeah, I know, and that's it. So,
so you don't get any like, okay, I understand, but thank you for your help, or like if in the case where they weren't saying telling you anything, would you say that they have tried to support you, or do you feel like even them saying that doesn't even provide you with any type of support at all?
um,
The specific question would be like, how do you feel in that case when they think they're helping you?
yeah, I don't really feel it as a help.
How does
Um,
it feel?
Maybe it kind of also feels a bit judgy from their side. I'm not saying that's true because that's how I interpret it.
Watch it. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. We understand. It's actually totally right. We understand for sure.
Yeah, so if they're saying it, I'm like, yeah, I know, and I understand they say it because it comes from a good place. It's not like a bad thing that they say it, but it kind of feels like, okay, het voelt dan heel bezwaard om dan nog naar buiten te lopen en te vapen als je net zo'n opmerking hebt gemaakt.
Oh wow, that's because when they would pass you, they would like be in the area and they see you, or so, and you're aware of it, so it's like it's like a shoulder, it's like a guilty conscience, you would say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
Nah, I
yeah.
understand. I understand. Yes, I understand that completely. I know the feeling quite well. I know the feeling. Of feeling that guiltiness when you have to pass it, you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But do you do anything in per se to try to lower or mitigate smoking at all? Have you been trying to uh
Sometimes I've tried, but it's really difficult because I'm like thinking, okay, now it's, for example, in the weekend, it's morning. I want to not vape the whole morning. And then I, pick up a book or, pick up my phone, and then all of a sudden I'm vaping. It sounds kind of stupid, but it's such a
it's
habit that
not,
you,
it's very good.
yeah, it's different also from cigarettes. If you smoke a cigarette, you mostly go outside because you don't want the inside of your home to smell like cigarettes. So you have to do like a lot of steps to smoke. But with the vape, it's just there. It doesn't smell. And then I'm setting a goal for myself for, okay, let's not do it in the morning, and then all of a sudden it's gone. So it's kind of, I tried,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's not,
It's
it's
difficult.
like not
It's challenging.
100% going good.
Okay. So it's just you just pop in, pop out. You just okay, I'm gonna stop and then
Yeah, yeah,
it's poof,
yeah.
gone. Okay. Yeah, it happens. It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, and I'm
I
trying, and
guess
it's
it's
not
like
like,
the habit.
yeah, And I've been trying. It's just like, yeah, as we say in Dutch, but met vallen en opstaan. So sometimes it goes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
do it,
Like you fall
sometimes
down
not.
and you stand up again.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. So just to be clear that our goal or your goal would like to be to mitigate it or at least try to stop smoking so much in the morning and the evening
Mhm.
and sometimes in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Um, from what you've told me so far, that your friends help you indirectly with the smoking, your colleagues at work, they tell you about it, they tell you about it, and you feel kind of judgy about it in that case, and you feel like this sort of guilty conscience when you're, yeah, when you're passing by, because when you're about to go do it. Um, and also, you would say um, that you've tried your best in many ways to cope with it, by trying to read, but you always fall into this relapse stage where you fall down, get back up, and fall down back again. In
yeah,
that case,
yeah.
okay, it was that clear. Am I missing anything? Would you say for
No,
anything that you said?
no, it's good. Yeah.
Perfect. So knowing this, our next plan would be our next session would be about um, smart the assessment, checking up
Hmm.
on your condition, and also in this case would be like we also like to do smart goal planning. That'll be important for us. And also the last thing would be trying our best to reassess you to see if your condition get better or worse.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any questions before you go?
No, no questions.
Perfect. So we're gonna see you next week, and we're grateful to have you on, and we're gonna try our best to make sure you reach your following goal.
Yes, thank you a lot, and see you next week.
All right. See